black people, they don't like poor people, and it's a wicked government. Because this is what the opposition leader have been trying to put forward for the longest while since before the last election. The wicked PLM government. This is a mantra for so long, more than 2 years now. And we have to understand and call it out for what it is. It's the same thing, Pastor Google, that I was mentioning with the new candlelight vigil that they wanted to propose for the people that were being killed. When you heard the people that was involved in it and who was supporting it and who was cheering it on, we understand what was going on because it was supposed to be a setup. Because if you don't get the rights to do it, then they don't care about black people. And if you give them the rights and they get sick, well, they should have done better. A catch-22 position. And it's because it's the same song. The devil haven't changed his methods in centuries. You all have a nice day. People try and do what is right. And if it is, you have the option, just like some of the people who own rent for the houses that they was renting from the government, $25 a month, and it reached a couple tens and 20,000. Oh gosh, come on, now, man. Only behave. Pastor Gogo, you all have a nice day.
Same to you. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor G.
Hey, what's going on?
And I'll call the big brother Papa G today. Normally I call you Papa G now. So good afternoon to Papa G.
Well, Papa in the house now.
Yeah, man.
Papa G.
You know, within the last quarter, and then the lady said for the last 2 quarters, I really don't think this is a it shouldn't be highlighted anyway. People have to be careful how they were all right, Papa G, let me use myself. On that little pressure, because we industry closed down. You know, I have a okay job and everything. I'm not blaming the pandemic for the pressure I under right now, you know, if you understand what I'm trying to say, Papa G. Because, you know, had management been a little better, you might not end up where it is today. So I think people have to be careful. People have to stop doing that in terms of using the pandemic for certain things. Was under pressure. And I think it's people who won't pay for years and things, you know, as far as I would understand. If anybody, and we went under pressure for the last year and then we come back a little bit and then we, within the last 3 months or so. So I think it's just that the people move a little lackadaisical to pay the bill. Our water bill is one of the most powerful bills you could pay and is one of the most cheapest bills they could pay. And I think they're really going behind. This is the little fallout, who they're really going behind. Anyway, it is good that we wouldn't discuss it also, but it would be wrong to not encompass them big brothers and them who have the money to pay and things too now. They fall within the bracket too, and that's how the technique that is used is use the poor people
the express is outside
to make the big ones who need to pay escape. So I don't think we should take the guilt trip now, because you know, a lot of people wait long and it was around, and I remember that advertising campaign to pay a bill. That's a real long time.
All right.
Have a good day.
Thank you very much. We're discussing, we have a little few time again. Doing this because you talk about Wassa when you come in. Doing this because you talk about Wassa when you come in.
I know what I'm talking about, you know.
You talk about WhatsApp when you come in.
WhatsApp would have come up.
So I said to myself, let me deal with this WhatsApp case because you're here and you bring it up.
And look at the kind of traction it got.
Right. So we go in and show the video again. For those of you who didn't see the video, you could go onto Facebook, go onto YouTube.
Landlords, landladies, giving people a blight. Why it is new WhatsApp after so many years because of problem that you all made develop into now, this crisis time. You all are taking it out on the poor people of the country, especially in the Chaguanas, Barrett area and San Juan area. Go somewhere else. Go.
You man say go somewhere else. Yeah, go somewhere else. Why you coming in Sour Barrett area? Why you coming in the Sour Barrett area? Go somewhere else. That's what she said.
Landlords in that area.
Yeah, go somewhere else. You're too wicked. Only too wicked. Hello, good afternoon.
All right, good afternoon, Pastor. All right, yo. Dr. Silva is on our next format this morning, and he said, right, information that they are after delinquent customers who has not paid their bill for years. So, okay, there is a very emotional time in a pandemic. A lot of people had the commitment, people were delinquent. A lot of people rushed down there, who had a little $300-400 on the bill. They are not targeting those people. They're targeting people who have water bill, or he called out one person bill at $14,000 to $15,000. Has not paid for years, and that would be like a $300. So the information is out there now. It's a very emotional time, right? It's not just Chaguanas, it's the whole. It's not just UNC constituency areas. He made clear. It's nationwide, right? I heard the interview last night. How the media put it across last night. Of course, it would have caused panic, right? As I said, it's been a pandemic. Water is essential because that's one of the three tenants that we have to stand on. By the end of the day, people are working, but they are not after those people. Specifically, Dr. Silly said clearly, right? As I say, information is the problem me and Pastor has talked about. The information was not disseminated in the right way in the first place. It's after people who have not paid their bill, utility bill, in years way beyond the pandemic. Thanks, Pastor Google and your father. Enjoy listening.
Right. You hear that? You hear what the man say? They're not after people. They're after people who haven't been paying the bills for years, not the recent bill people who owing. They have to, that's what they say, that on the news, the way how it's put across, the media put it across was misleading. That's what one of the callers is saying. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, Pastor Google. Just what that caller said is what I'm calling to say. It is said that only people who have not paid their bill in years. But I am still saying WASA's bill is every 3 months. And I'm drawing up example of even my own self. Our bill is 108 a quarter. Divide that 108 by 3, you're paying $36 a month to WASA. I don't want to hear about they're paying their bill and it's the pandemic. The pandemic can cause you not to pay your bill. If you were paying your bill all the time, nobody was going to cut you. It come like HDC, them buildings all in Pleasantville. All you're paying $40 a month and 20 years now. All you're paying $40. I am calling on HDC to do the same thing. And where you get money now, as soon as you hear you're getting cut, you run and you get money. All the time you know you're owing WASA, you ain't run to get money. I am saying cut them to hell. Pandemic and no pandemic, the big bills, cut them. The small bills, 108 every 3 months, you should have been paying your bill. I really don't have any sympathy, Pastor Google, because I find we are stuck with collecting our monies in this Trinidad. Take a stand, Mr. Gonzalez. Congratulations. If it's not now, when? Damn if you do, damn if you don't. Cut them to France.
All right, so we're going and taking the newscast. Let me take it in from the news. Let me hear this real thing. We're going now and listen to WASA saying 30,000 persons identified for disconnection. Let me hear who is the 30,000. If it's me and you, what do you want to say?
I feel like jumping up in that.
You feel so? Join us on the live. We're going and show the newscast. We're going and get it. Let me do the analysis and the paralysis. You know, we just do the little thing. I learn my little lawyer thing from my dad. So let's create a case. Let's create my case first. So I'm gonna do my case. Let's look at what was said in the news last night concerning WASA. And then from there, we continue the conversation. But as I told you, we're changing the discussion just now, but we have to get into something important.
Right.
During these pandemic times, but as of tonight, it's the most essential of essential supplies, particularly during these pandemic times. But as of tonight, several WASA customers are without a pipe-borne supply due to failure to pay their bills.
Around 15 done to date. Now we had targeted a larger number. Customers are waiting until the last minute, and when we pay to do the disconnection work, they have come to pay.
Those 15 ex-customers are just a drop in the bucket, so to speak, of the number of customers who stand to lose their water connection.
So it's an ongoing process, and we've identified 30,000 accounts that will be targeted.
The majority of those customers are residential account holders who account for over $200 million in arrears owed to the authority.
Domestic or residential component, it's in the order, we have targeted a sum of $201 million, but the initial which we are looking at is a $51 million sum of that we'll be looking to collect in the first instance.
Persons who have received disconnection notices should also note that they will be charged for the disconnection. WASA is urging customers to make every effort to settle their debts, as they stand to lose much more than just their water supply.
If there's no movement on the part of the customer with respect to communicating with WASA, to either pay off the rates or to make an arrangement for a down payment and installments to pay off the debt, then a final disconnection order will be issued and the property will be disconnected. And if there's still no movement on the part of the customer to pay, ultimately WASA under
Persons who may want to pay off their arrears online can visit WASA's website and pay through their payment portal, or do so through their banking institution. As for those desirous of working out a payment plan, you can contact the authority via email at wasacustomerservices@wasa.gov.tt, over web chat at www.wasa.gov.tt, or via WhatsApp at 709-7793. Vanessa Cutting, TV6 News.
Right, so I want to thank Vanessa Cutting for that information that she gave to us. You know, we just have to give the media house the recognition. Yeah. So what you have to say now about this you just heard, you know? You still holding the same view?
Well, I have always said that the government of this country has nurtured a culture of dependency. A friend of mine visited from the United States, and I told him that for my law degree, my law degree cost me $10,000 a year, and Gate paid all. That's $30,000 for me to get my law degree for 3 years. When I went to Hewden Law School, and the same year that I got my degree, I got into Hewden Law School, the fee to be admitted into Hewden Law School is $100,000. So the government paid $130,000 for me to become a lawyer. Shouldn't they have at least asked me for 2 free years service pay? At least 2 free years as a lawyer to pay back? Nothing. It was a 100% freebie. I became a lawyer and I opened my own practice and I'm making my money as a lawyer, and the state hasn't asked me for 1 cent. They haven't asked me to do 1 case for the state to pay back. No good. It's my friends visiting from the States say, boy, all you're disgusting down here with that. All you're real lucky. All your government spoiling all your bad. All right. So when you spoil a child, I go buy the gas pump. Instead of paying $800 to fill up my SUV, the government paying half of the bill. I go to pay WASA. Instead of paying $1,000 for 3 months, the government tell me, just give me $108 now. I get my house. The government say instead of paying $3,500, I want to pay $100 a month now. You tell yourself because it's minimal, I'll appreciate it and pay. But that is not what happens with an entitled and spoiled child. What I do is you really don't need this money, no? Something that I supposed to be paying $130,000 for my law degree, the government come and pay all? Well, the government are real money, boy. So don't come with this small change and expect me to be faithful with that which is least. Guys, when you give a child bad habit, they do appreciate anything. So now that it reached to this and you're being only, you want to play wrong and strong and come in and wrongs it up, man, and gallivanting and pulling gun on your customers and all of that, you know, and say we come in and knock you out. You have to be careful with that. I think that is the problem. The government has spoiled us. We spoil children. And now you come out and stick to B3 for a problem you created. Stop it. Move all these subsidies. When I go buy the gas tank, let me pay what I'm supposed to pay. When it comes to water, let me pay what I have to pay. Right? And then I will know, I will accept responsibility. But don't spoil the country for 40 years with these subsidies. Then you just want to come and disconnect me? I'll go and pay my master bill. I win them some money. I go like, you know?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Good afternoon.
Daddy?
Yeah?
That is what Daddy going on with, Daddy. You're too good looking and nice and young looking behaving. Google,
yes.
You have to shave off that beard and shave off your head and think Daddy gay go get trouble, you know?
I know.
Daddy, watch yourself, you know, if it wasn't COVID, watch yourself, you know? I find that law office. You know, no. Well, you know what? It's time to let us put up the children's socks now.
Right, okay.
And you know, I agree with all that Jenny said earlier. Listen, Daddy, you're right. Because the people here don't know how nice they have it, you know. And it's one thing they don't like to do is pay for anything. Look, I'm sure the people who run down there today and who balling and getting on and who making the couture down by Wassa today, you know, I'm sure it have plenty landlords in that collecting rent. And they wouldn't pay their Wassa. They don't want to pay land and building, and they always jumping up. Taxpayers, when you hear some of them talking, it's we taxpayers. This time, some of them, they never pay a cent tax in their life. It's a middle income earner who does keep up this country in taxes. So when you hear half of them talking, it's my taxpayers' money that never pay a cent. So hear what? I agree with what's going on there today. Let's cut them. Thank you.
Right.
And Daddy,
yes,
we have to change things, eh?
All right, okay. Jesus,
right, good
in Jesus'
night.
name.
Google, watch the ethnic city that is paying the bill. Is line up the pay the Wassa bill they owing all the time. Pastor Google, you ever run through your mind whatever happened at Wassa? When they burned down Wassa building and they thought all the evidence and all the record has been gone. Marvin Gonzalez is a genius to find back those records to let people pay, because this is not happening now. You remember when the UNC was shutting off people water, when they say water for all, and when you go and turn on your tap, you didn't have no water? Total Ganga sing about that, Pastor Google. And right now, Dr. Rowley have the recovery program, and this is the best time to try to recover because the world has started over.
Hello, good afternoon.
Pastor Google.
Lord Father.
Your father talking good talk. I like him too bad. But man, not you so much. Stop the subsidies. Stop the subsidies. Because we can't be paying twice, Pastor Google. We cannot be paying twice. We're paying for water twice. Taxpayers pay water twice. I know you're coming and tell me you will copy water. That ain't making sense to me, Pastor Google. So I like your father bad, but bring him back again, right? I'll leave it there.
I'm going for a break and come back. We change the discussion when we come back from the break. Will it good, yes?
This is Wayne Delamore, Head Consultant and Director of Natural Health Solution. With over 15 years of experience in clinical nutrition and microscopy, we specialize in early detection and prevention. We incorporate evidence-based nutrition and science-driven analysis. Tune in to our educational program every Wednesday at 9:05 to 9:55 a.m. right here on the street 91.9 FM. For appointments, call 222-2189 or 304-5816. At Natural Health Solutions, we offer a natural solution to healthy living.
Is it all right if I give you some Caribbean reggae music? Worship this afternoon. Well, everybody just dance with you right now. We are to magnify the name of Jesus. Watch it, look. So we stand and lift up our hands. Hey, for the joy of the Lord is my strength. Hey, so we bow down, worship Him now. How great, how awesome is everybody? Help me say, so we stand. Give us some music again, please now. Right now where you are, in your homes, just begin to worship the name of Jesus. The song, love, we say, so we stand and lift up our hands. Lift it up, for the joy of the Lord is our strength. We bow down and worship Him now. How great and awesome is everybody. Help me say, we stand and lift up our hands, for the joy of the Lord is our more time. The earth is filled with His glory. Yeah, the earth. Hallelujah.
Len Capital Certificates is a passive income service company located at Princess Margaret Street in San Fernando and 5th Street South Woodbrook. At Len Capital, investing is made simple. You invest with us. We make the investments and then you collect returns either monthly or yearly. We have 5 different options you can choose from, and each investment option comes with different benefits starting from TT $5,000. For more information, contact 399-0307. Len Capital Certificates. It's all about you.
More to love, yes it's true. Pennywise, just for you. So we'll get that perfect smile. Beauty's in every aisle to take care of your body. We have all you need to stay healthy. Yeah, Pennywise. More to love, yes it's true. Pennywise, just for you.
Pennywise gives you more to love.
This year, avoid bacteria with C's cleaning supplies. Made locally, superior quality, a family brand you can't deny. Detergents formulated to be better. Fabric softeners make laundry the brighter. All sanitizers are multi-purpose. Spend your pennies where it's a good buck.
These Cleaning Supplies is the new trusted brand for household cleaning. Visit us on Facebook and Instagram at Z's Cleaning Supplies. Place an order by calling us on 340-4610.
Nobody sell you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. That's right. And it's worth something.
This is Black Watch. Join us every Monday from 9 to 11 p.m. Black Watch. Let the show begin.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's Radio.
The Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center of number 399 Eastern Main Road, Waiko in San Luis Grande is pleased to present Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson and guests on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Sundays, Ministry of Worship Children's Hour and the Word from 1 to 6 p.m. Tuesdays, see Jesus in every book of the Bible from Genesis to Revelation from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Wednesdays, we deal with current affairs from a biblical perspective from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell everyone. For further information, visit with us at www.churchofthefirstbornassembly.org. Facebook, email us at church668hope@gmail.com or call us at 753-1113 or 236-7271. Your free will gifts and offerings will be greatly appreciated. Account number 795222 at the First Citizens Bank.
At Health and Wealth Lifestyle, we offer a wide range of services: blood analysis, iridology, acupuncture, foot detox, foot massages, gua sha, hot stone therapy, fire therapy, legs and feet massage therapy, mineral scrubs, acrotherapy, cupping.
We also have a wide variety of supplements: silver, zinc and magnesium, body light, and lots more.
We at Health and Wealth Lifestyle operate our business in a clean, safe, and comfortable environment. We frequently sanitize our compound and abide by all the COVID guidelines that are currently in place.
So come on down to Health and Wealth Lifestyle, where we treat you like family. Book your appointment today call us at 1-868-275-8359.
Or 1-868-288-1108.
And remember, your health is your wealth. And prevention is always better than medication.
Hey guys, it's Aisha Wells here. Listen up. If you're considering selling or renting your house in Trinidad and Tobago, then call Keelan George with O'Neill's Real Estate Group. He's a good friend of mine and he's been in the business for over 6 years. First, selling real estate in Atlanta, Georgia, and now right here in Trinidad and Tobago. He has a strategic online marketing presence that actually attracts thousands of home buyers and renters. Plus, with his home selling advice and techniques, he's getting homes sold really fast. Keelan will actually guarantee you sell your home or, get this, you can cancel the listing agreement and pay nothing at any time. That's right, you heard me, nothing at any time. Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, people. Check out www.o'neillrealestatetT.com. O'Neill is spelled O-N-E-I-L.
This is Bishop Aaron Williams from the Divine Problem Solving International Ministries, inviting you to be part of our broadcast on any given Thursday night from 12 midnight right on to 5 a.m. on Friday morning. And this broadcast is called Early Morning Gospel Market Program. Then we have on Tuesday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. the Holy Ghost Gospel Pharmacy. If you are sick and ailing, you could get from this particular pharmacy, from the pharmacist, the good things of life. Hallelujah. And any Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, break into the house of the Philistines. Hallelujah. If you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, hearing the babel of false doctrines that you encounter daily, it's about time you get close to God, God's word, direct from his throne room, in the name of Jesus.
God has good plans for his people. Why do you worry so much?
Now there's a new way to pay your electricity bill.
Quick pay your bills today. Quick pay. It's a whole new way. Online, pay your bill one time. Yes, there is a whole new way to quick pay for your electricity. Yes, they made it easy. Just enter your account number. 4 clicks and it's over.
Introducing Quick Pay, a new service from the Trinidad and Tobago Electricity Commission that lets you pay your bill online with your credit or Visa debit chip card. Just enter the account number and contact information. Click Pay and you're done.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
All right, Trinidad and Tobago, so we're back with you here on the Street 919 FM, and we are about to get into a serious discussion, serious topic. And I think that you need to get your friends, family members around the radio, put us on your big screen TV, because we have some real important stuff we're going to discuss now, real important issues. And I specifically invited Pastor Mackenzie to come. I don't know when, just someone will call him SC, or magistrate or judge. You want to be a magistrate or a judge one of these days?
Nah, that's small money.
Yeah,
it's small money. Magistrate salary, small money.
Judge?
Small money. A judge salary, so is our open there's got about 65,000 a month with let's get free travel, and a magistrate salary is around 35,000.
Okay, all right.
Right, the Salary Review Commission is looking at it there for the public to see. It's not anything to hide.
Right.
But and they get a few perks and stuff.
Yeah.
But an attorney who is worth his salt,
like you,
will get for a case, a high court matter start at about 70.
Right.
And for magistrate court matters, file trial, some lawyers will charge 7,500, some will charge 15,000. And some lawyers who have a magistrate court hustle.
Yeah.
They hustle outside the magistrate court on a Monday morning. You don't have that again with the COVID, but once you're worth your salt, you make much more.
You remember when I went to England first to study, and you tell me, do law, son. And I went and do my own thing. Remember how you was vexed? Remember where you get
Yeah. Judges.
I always tell people that today.
Judges in this country, I believe, in a sense, are overworked and underpaid.
Right.
Look at former Chief Justice Clinton Bernard. Right? I worked with his wife, right, in the National Library services for years. A really nice woman, Angela Bernard. Yeah, that was the former Chief Justice wife. Angela Bernard, she was the director of the National Library Information Archive Service. So when I worked with the government, she was my boss. And it was really sad to see in his retirement years that, you know, he basically didn't have money. You know, he wrote a book and, you know, it was almost down to like a fundraiser for the former Chief Justice.
Whoa.
And I think this Chief Justice we have, hats off to him. He tried to change that, you know, so that judges could retire with some dignity and some money in their pocket.
Yeah.
We have the CEO of First Citizens Bank. I can't remember the name of the Chinese guy there. He got a golden handshake of $12.5 million.
That's not George Young, father?
No. There's another guy. There's another guy.
Scotiabank.
There's another guy. He got a golden handshake of $12.5 million. Now, that is not a bad piece of money to walk away.
Yeah.
You know, from he was there for like 20-something years.
Okay.
He gave a man at 12.5 and, you know, he could relax.
Yeah.
Public servants, judges, and magistrates.
They don't get much.
No. Public servants generally. So
Trinidad and Tobago, there's a burning topic or an issue that came up where there are some pastors who have some questions to the Prime Minister. Right? And within their questioning for the Prime Minister, they dealt with some other issues that Pastor Mackenzie wanted to get into.
Right.
Now, up till last night, one of my friends, pastor friends, sent me a message, and he was saying to me, and that is why I keep saying that, you see, this government PR, they're really, really slow. Well, I don't know what it is with this government PR, but this government PR sucks.
It's an endemic PNM problem.
Because my friend sent me a message last night, and the message was about if I saw this video that I'm about to show you, so you can join me on Facebook and on YouTube, and you can see the video that we're going to talk about. This will be in our last and final hour. All right? Now, this video is the video that we're going to talk about. It's about some pastors who are claiming that some of their members are losing their jobs because they don't want to take the vaccine. Now, we know that on YouTube and on Facebook, we get flagged and take down from the time we start to use that word vaccine. So we just use jab. Right? That's what we just use. So he sent me a message last night asking me about all right, so he asked me if I saw this press conference today. I said to him, yes, I did. And I asked him what he think. He said, yeah, boy. He told me, he said that if this is true. I said to him, I sent him a message where the magistrate, the judge for the industrial court, Ms. Deborah Moore Felix, that's her name?
Yeah. Deborah Thomas Felix.
Right. She said that employers cannot force employees to take the COVID-19 vaccine in Trinidad and Tobago. He said to me, but why people are being sent home as is not because they're not accepting the vaccine. And then I said to him that hear what? The fact of the matter is that if the industrial court says something, it's done.
Yeah. Want me to read it?
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, before you read it, let us show them the video.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Let us show them the video because we're showing you the backdrop of where the discussion is going. So we need you all to come onto Facebook, come on YouTube, listen to what now is a panel of pastors. 1, 2, 3, 4.
4 horsemen.
4 pastors having concerns. Come onto YouTube and Facebook, you'll see the pastors and them. We have the video. You come on, and I want you to hear the concerns of the pastors. I want you to listen to the tone of the pastors, and I want you to hear their line of questioning. You have to come on the live. I want you to come on. I want you to have your notepad and your pencil and your paper. I want you to come and see the video of these four pastors. Yeah, I'm saying horsemen.
Yeah,
four pastors making allegations and questioning our Prime Minister. And look at how put the word beloved, eh? It's just a front for me. I'm sorry, I should not say that. All right, so listen to this. Come on and hear this, what the pastors only have to say.
Essentially, I am here to ask a simple yet very important question to the Honorable Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. A question that no doubt is on the minds of many of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. This question is based on a statement made by the Prime Minister just over a week ago on national TV. A statement that has troubled the minds of many citizens of this country. The statement is, vaccinate to operate. We all know that the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago is the supreme law of the land. And it states that Trinidad and Tobago is founded on principles that acknowledge the supremacy of God, the dignity of the human person, and the individual's inherent right as have been endowed by the Creator. The right to freedom of conscience, freedom of worship or religion, freedom of thought and expression. We are also cognizant that after World War II, the Nuremberg Code was established to give guidelines to governments across the world regarding human rights. In the context of these national and international guidelines, in the context of fundamental and constitutional rights, we would like the Honorable Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, who under oath before Almighty God has committed himself to the dignity of the office of the Prime Minister, to lead the people of this country with equity and impartiality. In this regard, we would like the Prime Minister to come forward and tell us, concerned citizens, what do you mean by vaccinate to operate? We consider this a very troubling statement.
All right.
Right.
Let
me address it. Right. So basically, what he said there is basically what he says for the rest of the interview. He is troubled. By the statement vaccinate operate. I don't know what it is about that statement is troubling Dr. Victor Gill. It's troubling him and his minions. It's a very simple and straightforward statement. Get vaccinated and get back to work. Right? I'm not hearing the maxi taxi operators complaining about what is the meaning of vaccinate operate. I'm not hearing the medical doctors complaining about what is the... I don't know what it is about vaccinate to operate that's troubling him to that extent that he has to call on the Prime Minister to make it clear. That's number one. Number two, I think the papers outlined him as the president of the TT response. All right, so this is Dr. Victor Gill. One of the things I think needs to be addressed urgently is the proliferation of doctors within the Pentecostal and full gospel and evangelical community. Everywhere you turn is a doctor. All right, doctor this, doctor that, doctor this, doctor that, doctor this, doctor that, doctor this, doctor that. If I don't want to call names, all right, but everybody's a doctor, and I think they like to be addressed as doctor, pastor, bishop. Sometimes they have 3 or 4 handles.
Is Dr. Apostle Bishop.
Yeah, Dr. Apostle Bishop. You know, and I don't know if enough is being done, right, to erase the misperception in the minds of the people they minister to and the people who listen to them that they aren't medical doctors. Now, that is a very serious thing. I mean, we have Dr. Trevor Sayers.
Yes.
For Christ and heaven's sake in this country. And our Prime Minister was very careful. I remember him saying that a lot of people asked him if he was a medical doctor because that is Dr. Keith Rowley. And he explained to them, he said, no, I'm a volcanologist. I wrote my dissertation in volcanology. He would have visited different sites, volcano sites in St. Vincent and Montserrat and Soufrière in Martinique, and he would have done a dissertation and he would have earned his PhD. In the United States of America, when you are a non-medical PhD, you are called a paper doctor because you probably did a doctorate, a PhD in English or in literature, you know? So they call you paper doctors. Not to be confused with a medical doctor.
Right.
Now, a lot of these full gospel evangelical and other pastors, a lot of them, they would have gone online to some of these mid-southwestern universities in the United States of America and done a little course. Some of them as little bit as 6 months, together with their years of experience. You know, 20, 25 years in ministry. Yeah. So I don't have to do a 4-year PhD or a 5-year PhD. And they sign up, they do a little 1-year, 2-year thing. All right? And they issue them a PhD or a DDiv, a Doctor of Divinity. And they add this title now. So you have to address them Dr. Pastor thing. But a lot of people thinking when they hear Doctor this and Doctor that they are medical doctors. I want to go on record here today and say to the listening public in Trinidad and Tobago, a lot of these pastors who are putting themselves out and they are saying they are doctor this and doctor that, they are not medical doctors. Some of them are. But a lot of them aren't, and a distinction needs to be made, especially during a pandemic, when some of them are undertaken to make medical statements.
Right.
And medical representations and speaking with authority about the virus. You are a pastor, you're not Dr. Fauci. You are not Dr. Terence Dayal Singh. You're not Dr. Hines. You're not Dr. Roshan Parasaram. You're a pastor. So what you know about the virus? We respect the people that our Prime Minister has put in charge of this virus, and I really hope that the Prime Minister does not waste his time to explain to this man and these other guys what he means by vaccinate to operate when the whole nation understands what he means. And it just seems as though they have a problem. You want to just stop there and take some questions with that because I have more to say. You know?
Well, one of the things that let me just play a little.
All
more.
right, okay.
Let me just play a little more. Come on in live. I want you to come on in live and see what we're talking about.
I wanted to address it as you bring it up because I didn't want people to lose sight of it.
Right. So come on in live, and I want you to see what we're talking about. Listen to this, Trinidad and Tobago. Listen to this.
We would like our Honorable Prime Minister to articulate for us what he means by this statement for the public sector, for the private sector, and for religious organizations. Mr. Prime Minister, are you saying to this nation, to the private sector, to corporate companies, that it is okay to fire their faithful employees because they refuse to vaccinate? Don't these people have the right to determine what goes into their bodies?
Good. I'm reading from the Newsday, and I'm reading from the Newsday of the 2nd, 2021. President of the Industrial Court, Deborah Thomas Felix, has said an employer cannot alter its terms and conditions to make the COVID-19 vaccination mandatory for employees. Unless the government establishes laws that would make the COVID-19 vaccine compulsory, organizations cannot demand that their workers take the vaccine. What employers can do is encourage workers to be vaccinated. That is as plain as day. It's coming from a sitting industrial court judge. I don't know if Dr. Gill read it, but it was in the Newsday. It was there for everybody to see. You cannot be fired if you have an existing contract that did not require the vaccine. However, if I'm now going to apply for a job, let's say in Ansa Makal to work in Fernandez, They could say, before you get this job, you take the vaccine. But they cannot demand that existing workers take it. That is as simple as 1, 2, 3.
As a lawyer.
Yes.
As a lawyer.
Right.
You are now presented with a case. I sent you a WhatsApp message.
Right.
So we Trinidad and Tobago, we're giving you real time now situations. So I sent that a WhatsApp message with a situation that a pastor sent to me because I hold the view that my father holding. But he sent me this message. He sent me this article. Read it out.
Peak group of companies. Okay, this is legit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all staff of the Peak group of companies. It is signed by Paul Peak. As many of you are aware, the country more recently has been ravaged by the COVID-19 virus, with deaths and infections at alarmingly high levels. This situation prompted the government on the 29th of May to enforce stricter regulations on us, the citizenry and businesses, in a desperate attempt to control the spread of the virus. Our business, Peak Trading Limited, was ordered to close and to remain closed until directed to reopen by the Ministry of Health. On Saturday, 5th June, in his weekly address to the nation, the Prime Minister, Dr. Rowley, advised that in order for businesses to be reopened, the country would be embarking on a number of mass vaccination drives under the banner Vaccinate to Operate. Peak Trading Limited, along with the rest of the hardware industry, remain closed and will continue to do so until the Ministry of Health is satisfied that sufficient purpose have been vaccinated. Vaccinations will reduce the risk associated with the COVID-19 virus and provide an opportunity for businesses to reopen. In this regard, we strongly encourage you to visit any of the nearest facilities to you from the list provided below and participate in Vaccinate to Operate program. Once vaccinated, please bring proof of your vaccination so that we can provide the government with the number of persons vaccinated from our country. That an adequate amount of people have decided to take the vaccine and come back out to work. But this is not a mandate where if you do not take it, you will lose your job. I do not interpret that to mean that at all. As long as this, what I just read here, is a legitimate thing, and it appears on the surface, all staff of the Peak group of companies, Paul Peak, June 7, 2021, COVID-19 vaccination. It is signed by the Executive Chairman, Paul Peak, from the Peak group of companies. And he issued this. I think this is decent.
Thank you.
And in place, and I think every employer is within their right to do this, and then say to the ministry, here what? We have 200 staff. We had a vaccination program. 150 people took it. Can we reopen?
Thank you.
And then the minister will say, yes, reopen. But the other 50 who didn't take it could come back to work.
Thank you. Thank you.
Got to be a rocket scientist?
Yes, you have to be. With them fellas. With them fellas, yes.
I don't know what's the mystery
Financial
of godliness.
obligations to meet, children to feed and educate. How are they supposed to live if vaccinate to operate mean what it seems? Mr. Prime Minister, we are a nation under God. When you say vaccinate to operate, are you saying that even though the vaccine militates against the religious conviction of some, they should violate their conviction and vaccinate, or they will no longer have the right to hold a decent job, nor operate in terms of assembling together in one place to worship Almighty God? Mr. Prime Minister, evidently and inevitably, a number of citizens will not take the vaccine. This is a reality. It is a reality right now in several Caribbean nations and the world.
Could you stop it again? We have to take this piece by piece. Sorry for cutting them. And I hope your listeners aren't upset. But I want to pick it apart bit by bit. That's how we lawyers do.
Right.
He is saying, this man is behaving as though he, when he was a little boy, didn't take the polio vaccine, didn't take the smallpox vaccine. How all of a sudden, growing up as a boy in Trinidad, I used to go and take my vaccine. I used to get, and afterwards they give us milk and biscuit.
Yeah.
And you have your arm swell up. And you have your vaccination card with many vaccines that were mandatory for you to go to school. Right? And all of that. How come it wasn't a religious issue then? How come it wasn't a doctrinal issue? I can't remember any pastor, and I grew up in the church, saying to the members, don't go and take the polio vaccine. Think about that. This is a vaccinated man talking, you know. The fact that he is sitting down there, right, and talking that, I am assuming that Victor Gill is a born Trinidadian and he and his men are vaccinated, at least with polio, because everybody had to get polio. That one used to drink. I can't remember one. That one was a drink. But all the other vaccines, we had to get them. Recently, not too long ago, when Hurricane Hugo hit Venezuela, I decided to put together a few members of my church to visit Venezuela, and they insisted that we take yellow fever, hay fever, all these vaccines. So this is a vaccinated man talking. So what I'm saying is that he is saying to the Prime Minister that, are you coming against our freedom of conscience now? Which is Section 4 of the Constitution that deals with the Bill of Rights, and saying that I'll get vaccinated against my religious beliefs. I am putting him to test and provide for me the text of Scripture that says thou shalt not be vaccinated. Because vaccines did not exist in biblical times. So I don't know that any pastor could produce a text to say this is my religious or my doctrinal ground for not getting vaccinated when that pastor himself is vaccinated and was vaccinated on he have a vaccination card, I'm sure. Just like I have one and you have one.
Yes.
So I'm not understanding where he's going with this. There's something else at work here.
For we would like you to come forward and tell us what are your plans for those citizens who, based on their constitutional right and religious conviction, have chosen not to vaccinate. What are your plans for them? We would like to know. Are we to believe that the Prime Minister is saying that without a vaccine, every creed and race will no longer find an equal place in Trinidad and Tobago? Will we now rewrite our national anthem? Are we to believe that you are saying to citizens of this nation, who by their blood, sweat, and tax dollars have built this country, that without a vaccine, which the WHO calls experimental, a vaccine that is fraught with questions, controversies, and uncertainties, are you saying that without such a vaccine, citizens will no longer have equal rights and a fair share in Trinidad and Tobago? They will no longer be considered as equal citizens. They will be relegated as second-class citizens. Mr.
I had enough. It's already 1:30. You want to take some calls, and there's something that Deborah Felix had said about the government has to come with laws and policies in order to mandate that. You have to
wait, let me just deal with something quickly here. Didn't you get from him that he's saying on constitutional and religious grounds, some people don't want to take the vaccine?
Yeah, he said that.
Because based on some doctrine in the Bible, that they don't want to take it, and then constitutionally they have a right to freedom of conscience, and they could say no.
Yeah.
Aren't you getting the idea that if you are against this vaccine, you are against all vaccines? He needs to be clear there. Now, he isn't saying whether these people are against the Sinopharm, or they're against the Pfizer, or the AstraZeneca, or the Moderna, or the Johnson & Johnson. I understand Russia has a new one out. It's very good. Cuba sovereign too, very good. He's not identifying, he's just saying that there are people in Trinidad and Tobago, and probably members of his congregation, who on doctrinal or religious grounds, right, religious grounds, have an issue with the vaccine. I am reading from the Newsday article here, right? And I'm saying, and the Newsday is saying Gill, which is him, Dr. Victor Gill, I guess is his name, advocated for the controversial drug ivermectin, which he said is being used in countries around the world in the fight against COVID-19. The world and the citizens, and they're quoting him now, the world and the citizens of this nation are waking up to the truth, which is increasingly becoming common knowledge that there is an efficacious cure for COVID-19 and it is called ivermectin. Why is our government not speaking about ivermectin and not making it available to the people of this country? Why are people dying in huge numbers when there is a cure? So he's advocating a cure.
Yeah.
He's against the vaccine because he has
a cure.
What he believes is a cure.
Yeah.
So in any discussions with the government, it would be like, Dr. Rowley here, what? Don't bother with these vaccines. Go with what I see as a cure. And then, I don't know. I don't know where they're going with this, but I know there are a lot of people who are not just pastors, businessmen too, who saw this as an opportunity to make a lot of money. If you can corner the market on a particular drug, hydroxychloroquine or whatever, right? And you could convince your people that something is wrong with what the government is using, and you could get a license to bring in that drug, you'd make millions. You know, so I don't know what their agenda is.
Let's take some calls. 342-0081, 342-0081, 771-1791, and 466-5391. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Pastor Google. Just on a labor's perspective, just as the gentleman said there, if Madam Deborah Felix would have said that no employer can force you or fire you if you take the vaccine. If you go to a place of work and you're told you need to show your immunization card, whether you're vaccinated or not, and you don't have it because you didn't take the vaccine, if they fine you, I will advise any employee, let them put it in writing the reason why you're being fired. Because as an issue could be taken to the industrial court.
Of course.
If they change in your terms and conditions of employment and you have a union, it has to be changed with a union there. If it is that you would have signed your contract, you and the company themselves, there's no union or anything like that, and they are now instilling that again, let them put it in writing the reason why you're being fired. So it is listed on it, I am firing you, John Jones, because you did not take the Sinopharm, the whatever vaccine for COVID-19. 2. 3, those pastors who are talking there, to me, in my opinion, it seems as if the most valuable employees are talking about who are losing the jobs that they want to are very, very valuable in giving tithes in the church. Because apparently to me, it's looking as if it's more about the tithes rather than the health or some kind of money issue. And finally, I wish they could have come out when Ashanti Riley was murdered, brutally beaten, when our Indian sister lying in the road with her head one part and her body one part, when Sharon Bansfield was rotting in a store on Charlotte Street, and all the other women and Andrea Barrett, and all of them would have been murdered by domestic abuse. Look, there's a lady still missing, a young mother missing.
They found her. They found her, actually. They found her.
Well, if they found her...
They found her burnt. They found her body burnt in a cane field in Gasparilla, which is really sad.
Right.
But I spoke to her uncle yesterday. Strange enough, I didn't even know that I know the young lady.
Right. But the point I'm making is this, Pastor Go, as I wrap up. When they come out to speak on these social issues, you know, the members and spiritual and the fact going against people's spiritual values, and why don't they come out in a holistic way and speak about everything?
Thank you.
This gentleman, he seemed like his dollar signs is a big factor in everything he's saying, in my opinion. So.
All right. Hello, good afternoon.
Pastor Google.
Mommy.
Well, for the longest while, I didn't hear nobody speak like how your guest speak there today. You understand me? Your guest you have in the studio there with your Pastor Google. And what he said is so true, nothing but the truth but truth. Pastor Google, but don't forget, those pastors had a big tiles to get to, and Pastor Google.
I'm listening to you, Mommy.
Right. And to your guest there, is he attorney at law?
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon.
I don't know how brave you are today. Am I permitted to ask you a question here this afternoon?
Sure.
Okay. The JPs and them who goes, or let's say someone get arrested, because I had Aisha Welch to find out that for me, right? But JPs and them, are they working in the courthouse? Are they the one working in the courthouse?
Yes, you have justices of the peace.
Good. You're right. You're on my road. Someone get arrested like on a weekend and they have to get bail. Is it the JP permitted when they go to the station to give those gentlemen who are arrested in his station and to charge him a certain amount of money. Let's say 3 get arrested. That is about $3,000, which they usually charge. Another 3, another 3,000, another 3, another 3,000, another 3. You know how much money they're making when that day come? Are they permitted to do that or not? I want you to tell me the honest truth as attorney at law. Have a good one.
Well, I in a few cases I've had, I don't really practice criminal law. Right? I practice civil law, but in the 1 or 2 interactions I have had, I think in one particular instance, according to the crime, right, the police, they have the freedom to call out JPs, you know, and the JPs can take, you know, sworn statements and grant bail, and sometimes according to the nature of the crime, a parent might be there. You know, and the parent could take the bail and ensure. Bail is just to ensure that the person shows up in court, you know. Right. And if they don't show up in court, you pay the state naturally. Right. And then the police, you have police bail, so you have station bail, right? Sometimes a parent could take the bail, or sometimes because of the nature of the offense, the police would call out a JP, and the JP would take the bail. I don't know about the fees. Right. I can't speak about the fees.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm hearing a lot of people. I'm trying to figure out, do you have a problem with the message or the messengers? I'm talking about the people who asked the Prime Minister to clarify on the statement.
What did you have a problem with the message or the messenger? You have a problem with the message?
Yes. What is wrong with the message? What is so wrong with the message?
It is sounding as though the question that is being asked or the suggestion that is being put out there, if you have been listening to the program, seeing that you want to call in and be our lawyer, the question that we have been was asked, or the way it is being put across, is that if you don't take your vaccine, you cannot work at an establishment. And we are saying that that is wrong. That is not what the Prime Minister is saying. And the magistrate, is the magistrate?
Yeah, no, a judge.
The judge Justice came out and said that that is not true, if they cannot do that. So my thing is, doing a whole press conference and asking the Prime Minister to answer if you don't get the vaccine, if you cannot work, the justice came out and said that is not true. Of the Labour Court came out and said that that is not true, you cannot do that.
Let me just share something quick what the Attorney General said. Stop him.
Hold a second.
Just hold on. Let him hold on. He's a caller. He had to hold on. The Attorney General, Faris Al-Rawi, says government has not decided whether to make the taking of COVID-19 vaccines mandatory under law. At a virtual news conference, he said there is an interesting line of case authority which has come out from the European Court of Human Rights. There is a very active conversation on whether there is a public interest that would prevail. What the Attorney General is saying, yes, there is a case in the European Court of Human Rights that said, here what? The government could mandate that you take a vaccine.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Now, we are not under the jurisdiction of the European Court of Human Rights. We are under the jurisdiction of the Privy Council.
Yeah.
Right? So, and he says no decision has been taken yet. However, if we decide to take one, we have a precedent in the European Court of Human Rights that says, yes, it could be mandated if it could be proven scientifically that not taking the vaccine affects people.
Right.
You know, but we have taken no decision there yet.
Right.
So there's no reason for Dr. Gill and his people to be worried. On 2 counts, the Attorney General said we have not taken a decision on it, and Justice Deborah Thomas Felix said you cannot lose your job. So I don't know what it is that needs any further clarification.
Thank you. Hello, guest caller.
I'm going to say this. The students right now, my friends and their son is a medical student. He's been doing a month in Granby and a month at different medical institutions in the country. They told them, with suasion, with coercion, that if they do not take the vaccine, they're going to have to put their medical ambitions on hold for about 2 years. I have friends.
Who told them that?
The Minister of Health?
The Minister of Health told them that?
The Prime Minister told them that?
But they have been, you see, they have been...
Let them get it in writing. My thing is, you see, we like to take old talk. If you have it in writing, that the whoever it is telling them that, tell them, put it in writing. Tell me that you are saying to me that I have to put my medical ambition on hold for 2 years because I don't want to take the vaccine. Give me that in writing.
But that is a very serious thing, and that is something that the Prime Minister would have to speak to if that is true. You are saying that if you don't take the vaccine as a medical student, you can't finish your studies? Nah, man, that is old talk, man. You have to do better than that.
I want to be constructive. I do not want to win an argument or a conversation. I'm saying to you, that was at a higher level of education and assertion. I'm also saying to you, I spoke with 2 homeboys yesterday. One of them took the vaccine earlier on in the week. The other one is about to take it. You know why? Because where they're working, they're actually saying to them, you're not going to be allowed to come into work unless you take the vaccine. That is why they went and take it. Because you know what? It's the first time in a long time.
We don't know evidence of what you're saying. We don't know evidence of what you're saying as fact.
But even if it's true, the employers are wrong.
And that's what we're telling you.
That's what the judge is saying.
And that's what we're saying.
The employers are wrong. So don't come and tell me about your homeboys. Yes, they may have an experience where their employers told them, if you don't take it, don't come back out to work. But they could sue the employers for that.
And that's why I say, and that's what we're saying. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon again. Pastor?
Which one?
Pastor, the 2 pastors, Daddy and Google.
Yeah.
Listen, you see, this country has we like too much bacchanalia. And you want to tell me those pastors, they have a problem with English language? I didn't hear Dr. Rowley sound like if he tell people they have to take the vaccine, because what we have established so far, at least me, in reading and listening to what has taken place, I'm not saying that and I don't want to sound like I know anti-vax, but let me tell you that until the World Health Organization and the world come out and say, okay, we have found this cure, and that is the case, and we are making it mandatory, and it's all countries in the world. So you can't come and tell me, a little 2x4, somebody will tell me I take a vaccine and I can't come to work. No, the vaccine, and people must understand what is the purpose of the vaccine. For now, it is trials. You would stand a better chance, that is what they are telling us, if you take a vaccine to fight COVID. But if let's say, for example, I take it and I get COVID, well, you never know what could happen. But you can't tell me that you any better off than the person who does not take it. Everybody still have to wear a mask and wash their hands and social distance. You stand in a better chance than the person who does not. So until that is made law and mandatory across the world, like chicken pox or measles or rubella or whatever, it cannot be no mandatory. Nobody, you could persuade people and we hope that they will take it. So that's enough that Dr. Rowley trying to open up the country, So when he say what he said, is that as many as possible will take the vaccine, but you can't come and make that mandatory. So the young doctors, if one of them fall down and dead when they take it, they're telling the parents.
All right, thank you. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good day.
Good day.
What I would like to know, this was a letter addressed to the Office of the Prime Minister to clarify the issue before a press conference was called. Was any letter, was clarification sought? And the other thing I'm looking at, what is the purpose of the church or the function of the church that they are involved in this worldly affair? Because in my mind, the function of the church is to be promote prayers, teaching prayers, and practicing prayers. It's also to look after the orphan widows in their distress, keep oneself from being polluted by the world, and there's a lot of other functions. What is the function of the church in this issue. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. So let me answer that quickly. And it's a good issue you raised. There's something called the separation of the church and the state. I believe in the separation of the church and the state in certain instances. And I believe this is one instances where pastors should remain quiet and let the state do its job. Right? The medical profession is too sensitive an issue for somebody who has no training whatsoever, absolutely no training in that field, to actually come on the national scene, address the Prime Minister as though the Prime Minister doesn't know what he's doing, demand an explanation for a very simple thing that the rest of the nation understands, and then have the nerve to suggest a drug. All right? Now, in the same way, we would not want the Prime Minister to get involved in affairs of the church, which collects millions and around the world, billions of dollars in tithes and offerings, and pay no taxes. Let that same Dr. Rowley say, okay, you all want to push him out in the state's business, and you want to suggest ivermectin, well, we suggesting a tax. We're going to tax your tithes. How much tax? How much tithes it?
So, Pastor Google, they don't want nobody to take the vaccine to prevent them from getting the COVID or prevent them from getting sick to the point where they have to be in the hospital on an oxygen tank, or worse yet, intubated. They're saying treat, they're saying cure, and it has a cure to treat with COVID. So the only how you will get the cure for COVID is if you contract the COVID. So the rather people get the COVID, and the government look for this miracle drug, which I heard this week that some new antibiotic medication that came out and costing thousands of dollars for the medication per person. They didn't say $8,000, no, they said thousands of dollars to treat one person with this miracle antibiotic to treat the COVID. So, I mean, help it make sense now, please.
Hello, Mr. B. Mr. Bego.
And good afternoon to your guests. Good afternoon, Pastor Google. You hear me? Good afternoon to your guests.
Good afternoon.
Happy Father's Day to you all. Let me get down to it because of time.
Yes.
Pastor Google, in the profession that I am working, I'm a health worker, not the ones who work in the hospital. I'm the one that work on the outside. They always send us for a medical. We never question our authority when they tell we have to go for a medical. And we don't come out and tell them we're not going for a medical. You know why we don't do it, Pastor Google?
Tell me.
Because dangers of the work that we are doing. When you hear you have an outbreak of yellow fever, who you think liable to get the first is myself, because the terrains and them that I work at, I can be the first person to get infected. So what I'm seeing that this government is trying to do, hear what? My frontline workers, I will really like them to be vaccinated to, you understand, keep up with other patients who will get infected. They won't infect their loved ones. And I'm not seeing what is the query. If my boss come and tell me here, I would like you to go and do a medical. I would like you to take whatever vaccine. For my benefit, Google. Because when they send you for a medical, you might not have known that you were suffering from some ailment. It's there, and then you would know what ailment you would have been suffering with. Who young person pass a Google, you just see going and get a medical to find out what happened to them. They get a headache. You know what I say? I go just take 2 aspirin and that is it. Never to know our brain tumor was acting up. And if they go there, it don't want to detect it. Come on, people.
All right.
In the for me, I find all health profession, once you are, they tell you that you have to go and get vaccinated, we should jump at it.
All right, thank you. Yes, so your closing remarks.
Right, my closing remarks are, if it is that TT response had come, and as one caller suggested, they had written the Prime Minister before and said, we are seeking clarification on this, all right? And they didn't get any clarification, decided to call a press conference, and they had made their statement in isolation. I still may not have had a problem. But after you make this statement, in your back pocket, hypothetically speaking, you pull out a drug. So you don't want the government drug, but why you don't try this one, this ivermectin? I don't know, I may be wrong, it's sounding like a hustle to me. Because this hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin, let me tell you something. Hydroxychloroquine was a drug for malaria. You have to be careful how you're taking that. And the government made a move against people who were trying to hustle on the side with people's health and people's lives. I was very disappointed when at the end of the statement, I read in the newspapers today that Dr. Gill has a drug.
Wow.
That he would like to suggest to the government that could save lives. So all that talk, all that conference with TT response, right, that the 4 horsemen come out and talk there, was to push a drug that they have.
Right.
It sung like a hustle to me.
All the time. Thanks very much for being here. Trinidad and Tobago, Pastor Mackenzie is going to be on every Friday. Every other Friday. Right here on the street now. Every Friday.
Every other Friday.
Every other Friday, right here from 1 to 2.
Right. I'll do a legal corner.
Yes.
On one, and then next week I'll do a spiritual religious corner.
Beautiful. So you have to join us right here on the street 919 FM. I'm out of here, Trinidad and Tobago. Talk to you for all the fathers. Happy Father's Day to you, Dad. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, man.
Right, and I know that you will enjoy your day
Enjoy what day? You know, weekend this weekend, you know.
Yeah, but you can still enjoy it home. You telling me you will enjoy it? I know you. You will enjoy your day. All right. So we out of here, Trinidad and Tobago. Please be safe. Make sure and sanitize. Make sure and social distance. And do your best and stay home if you don't want to be outside.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Anointed.
joy, back my health, and my wealth. I'm taking everything that you stole from me. Everything you took from my family, I'm taking back my dance, hey, and my song. For all the years you tried to shut my mouth, I am anointed. Hey, I'm a mighty warrior in God's army. One more time, we're taking it back, hey. Hey, I'm taking back my peace, hey, and my joy, back my health, and my wealth. I'm taking everything that you stole from me. Everything you took from my family, I'm taking back my dance, hey, and my song. For all the years you tried to shut my mouth, I am hey, I'm a mighty warrior in God's army.
Enagic changed your water, changed your life. Enagic water purifier, one machine, 5 types of water. Enagic makes strong Kangen water with an 11.5 pH. Kangen water with 8.5 to 9.5 pH, healthy drinking and cooking water. Clean water with 7.0 pH. Beauty water for skin, hair, and plants with a 6.0 pH. Strong acid water with a 2.5 pH. This water is known to disinfect, kill viruses and bacteria. Listen to the Street 919 FM with Pastor Alkaline John every Tuesday from 9:05 a.m. to 10 a.m. and every Wednesday from 8:05 p.m. to 9 p.m. as he talks to you weekly about how to improve your quality of life through purifying and drinking water. For more information, call or WhatsApp Pastor John at 516-286-7079.
Simpsons Memorial Limited, number 63 Eastern Main Road, Laventille. Internationally accredited funeral directors and embalmers. A full-service funeral home serving families of Trinidad and Tobago and internationally since 1945. At Simpsons Memorial Limited, we serve with dignity in assisting families in honoring the memory of their loved ones. Our services include professional funeral and pre-planning, burials and cremation, custom-built and imported caskets, coffins and cremation trays, cemetery management, limousines, mourners cars, grief counseling, web streaming of funerals, fully air-conditioned chapel with live musical accompaniment, full global shipping and receiving of loved ones. We specialize in facial restorations. Call us anytime, day or night, at 623-8688. That number again is 623-8688. Simpsons Memorial Limited. Superior service, always with excellence.
Take me to the king. I don't have much to bring.
Job Optimum Health and Wellness. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Get your Bioplasma Diagnostic Full Body Scan. Examines all of your organs in a single session. 95% accuracy. It's painless, non-invasive, and affordable. Call Pastor Job at 350-2628, 767-1031, or 275-6300. Sick and tired of being sick and tired? Get your Bioplasma Diagnostic Full Body Scan at Job Optimum Health and Wellness.
If you're a small or medium business looking to grow, then you simply need more customers. This is where we can help. Did you know people are Googling keywords right now for your products and services, but they can't find you? We help small businesses just like yours take advantage of online ninja advertising techniques to get more customers and more sales. Did you know there are thousands of businesses in Trinidad and Tobago